Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the 808 podcast where we interview business owners, CEOs, marketing directors, and whoever else I feel like. 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds because 808 looks like Bob. And here we go. Question number 1 in a couple sentences. Tell me who you are and what do you do?
All right, so I am known as the UK's most hated sales trainer. What do? I take crappy salespeople, I beat them up, I break them down, and I try and get them to want to be professional in selling. Most people in sales are amateurs simply because, well, they never wanted to be in sales anyway. Nobody chooses sales as a career. They just fall into it and then they get stuck. What I'm looking for is that handful, that nugget that once they've got stuck, realize, actually, I really want to make a go of this. And this should be just as noble and just as professional as being a lawyer or a surgeon. And that's what I do.
Love it, Benjamin. Question number 2. What advice do you want to share? Go.
Right. So how to get past the gatekeeper if you don't have the name of the contact. Now, obviously, in the modern world we live in, that's kind of hard because there's Google, but let's assume you've done everything you can and you cannot find the name of the person. So one of the key things to getting past the gatekeeper, one of the things I teach is create confusion. Confusion is your friend. That's the first thing. Secondly, you must sound like the person you're trying to get a hold of. Now, you don't know who that is, but if you know it, you're trying to get a hold of the president or the CEO or the MD or a director. What do they sound like? What are they like when they communicate? They're short, sharp, clipped, direct. They're not rude, but they're assertive. There's a fine line, and most salespeople don't get the difference. So what you need to do is, so if I don't know the name of the person, I will phone up, and as soon as the gatekeeper answers, I go, "Can I speak with Ryan, thanks?" And she'll say, "There is no Ryan here." I go, "I think you'll find there is." "No, yes, if you check, he's your managing director." And when I do that, they often prompt me to say, "No, our managing director is Mr." And then they give you a name. Doesn't happen all the time. Yeah, nothing's foolproof in the world, but it happens more often than you'll be surprised at. So you just go in and assume you know the person. And as soon as they say, "No, there is no Ryan here," you go, "What do you mean? He's your managing director. I know that." "No, our managing director is X." You know what? I'm looking at the wrong piece of paper. You're right. It is Brian. I feel such a fool. Look, can you tell Brian it's Benjamin on the phone? Let him know Benjamin's calling. And will he know what it's about? He'd better. And that's it. That is how you do it. Now, again, it won't work all the time. People say, "Well, I tried it and it didn't work." Well, of course it won't work every time, Tiger Woods doesn't win every golf course that he plays on, Sometimes it's just not going to happen. But what you got to do is you got to run with a technique that's statistically more likely to work than not. And that one works more often than it fails.
Love it. I love that there. That is a great idea. I'm probably going to start using that one there. All right, let's get to question. I have no questions. You said it really concisely there. So let's get to question number 3. It is shout out time, Benjamin. Go.
Right. So people's I admire. One is a great friend of mine and mentor, a guy called Marcus Kalki. He's like an independent sales consultant and director. And I love him as a friend. We don't agree on anything other than the world of sales. So we have a very interesting relationship. There's a lot of C words used when we describe each other, but we love each other. So Marcus is a good friend. There's another chap whom I know from the United States, actually. He's, I'm going to say young lad. I'm at that age now where people under 30 seem young.
Yeah.
His name's Justin Michael, the sales Borg. He's phenomenally intelligent. I mean, so intelligent, I felt stupid talking to him. And he's always doing something. He's always on the go. He's always, and again, just listening to him made me feel tired. And I thought, man, I'm lazy. But he's got a great brain. And he's working out better ways of communicating with prospects via email and sort of the written approach. So Justin Michael is certainly somebody that I would recommend. There's a good friend of mine in Canada, another North American, a guy called Daryl Prail. Now, Daryl is the chief revenue officer for a company called VanillaSoft. And me and Daryl, we met on LinkedIn, and it's one of the few people that I've formed a relationship off of LinkedIn. So most people on 99.9% of people on LinkedIn, it literally is that. This is an off LinkedIn relationship. And a friend of mine in the UK also, he runs a company called The Point Company, a chap called Steve Burton. And he provides outsourced lead development for tech companies. Very good at what they do with a global reach. So those are the 4 people: Marcus, Steve, Michael, and Dan.
I will look them all up. Really appreciate it there. Benjamin, question number 4, the final fun question. Tell me about your first sale.
Well, it depends how far back you want to go. So why don't I tell you about one of my most enjoyable sales?
Okay.
Because technically it wasn't even a sale. So I was on my way to London to meet with the CEO of a company. And I planned out the meeting. So, a good salesman always plans, just like a soldier, just like a lawyer. They planned out the meeting. So I knew what questions I wanted to ask him, where I wanted to ask him. So as I'm sitting in the back of the cab on my way to the meeting, I was rereading the email that his assistant had sent to me.
Right.
And obviously it'd been dictated, you could tell. And I don't know what it was, but there was something about how it was written that made me feel in my gut, I think he's already decided he wants to buy from me. Because I didn't know this. We'd never met.
Right.
This has been arranged via email and stuff. So here I was. So I'm sitting, and that suddenly, as that realization dawned on me, my whole plan suddenly changed. I thought, I can't run with what I'm going to do because this doesn't feel right. So I thought, how do I do this? How do I get around this? How do I figure this out? And it came to me in the moment. And I remember I met this guy, he shook my hand. He says, hey, Beej, I feel like I know you because I've watched a lot of your videos. He goes, so it's quite interesting to meet you in person. And of course, I'd never met the guy. And I said, look, great, blah, blah, blah. I go, look, before we start, I've got a really weird question I want to ask you. Can I ask it? And of course, CEOs love that sort of thing. He goes, yes. I said, are you sure? I said, because whatever you answer is going to dictate how I behave for the rest of this meeting. He goes, well, go on now. Yeah, I'm really interested. I said, okay, so this is my question. And now remember, I'd never asked this question before.
Right.
It's something I came up with in the back of the cab because the whole thing I teach people is the skill of selling is asking great questions. And if you can't create them in the moment, then you're always going to be stuck to a script, which is always going to make you not very adaptable and very good. So there I am in the office, and this is the first time I've ever asked this question. I didn't know what the reaction would be. I didn't know how it would be taken. So I put all my training of nurturing and struggling. I go, okay, so this is my question. Have you already decided you want to work with me, and the purpose of this meeting is to figure out what it would look like? Or do you need to be convinced by the end of this meeting that I'm someone you want to work with? And he goes, that's a very good question.
Yeah, that is.
And I said, I know, I need a good answer. And he goes, now being a typical CEO wanting to maintain control,
right?
He came back with a non-answer. And the non-answer was this. He goes, let's put it this way, Benjamin, this is yours to lose. Said,
there you go.
I said, oh, I like that. That's a good answer. I said, well, let me say, I said, one thing more then. If we work together, one of the first things I'll teach you is you can't actually lose something you never actually possessed. I said, so what are you telling me?
Love it.
And he smiled. He goes, yes, I do want to work with you, Benjamin. So what happened was, what was going to be a sales meeting was no longer. This is now taking an order. And this is one of the things I teach salespeople. I think salespeople talk themselves out of more sales than they actually talk themselves into. Because a lot of the time, there's a good chance a prospect has decided.
Actually, hey, Benjamin, you've been doing great, but that's the timer. We're done. You pulled it off. 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds. Benjamin, why is it 8 minutes and 8 seconds?
Well, because it looks like Bob.
It does. It does. Love it there. Hey, your website. Say it real quick.
UK's most hated salestrainer.com. It's that easy.
Perfect. In the description, it's magic. Benjamin, thank you so much for being on. Tip of the hat to you.
You're most welcome, sir.
You're welcome there. And for everyone else watching or listening, I am legally required to tell you to like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, whatever the heck the social media network tells you all to do. You all have a good one now. Talk to you later. Bye.